Hi everyone, my name is C and today I am going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. No one tagged me to do this tag, but I think that's fine. I just wanted to do it because it looked like fun. I know someone named Brenda C had originally made this tag. I can't find their channel or the original video, so if anyone knows where I can find that, let me know and I will include it in the description just so I'm not taking credit for anything that I didn't do. I just don't know where to find the video. But I am excited to be answering these questions. So question number one is, why did you start this channel? I started this channel because I have always been watching booktube videos. I think I started watching like 6 or 7 years ago. Like I was watching when Ariel Bissett would sit in her backyard and like rant about Life of Pi. I've been watching for a while and I always have really loved it. I've always felt very at home watching videos. Funny enough, I've never really interacted on booktube. Like I've been subscribed to people and I like won't comment and I just like won't interact with people, but I love watching people talk about books. I remember being like 11 or 12 years old and I had just read The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan and I was sitting in the office and I pulled out my mom's iPad and I was like, I'm gonna film myself making a book review about this. And I had no idea what I was doing. I got so nervous. I never even edited it. Like I got so nervous just by filming it that I never tried again. And I finally was like, why am I not doing this? Like it's something I want to do. I love reading, I love books, I love writing, and I want to be able to share my opinions with the world about that. Question number two is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to YouTube? I think something fun and unique that I can bring to booktube as a whole is that I am a writer also. I am a published writer, I'm an award-winning writer, and so because of that, I think that I can bring in some interesting perspective on like book craft and writing craft, and I can also make videos about writing, which I think is exciting. Rhymed. I also have won awards for poetry before. The other interesting thing that I think that I can bring to booktube is that I'm an English major. I'm currently in college, and so because of that, I'm excited to look at some contemporary type books, some YA type books through a more critical like English major lens. I'm excited to talk about like symbolism and characterization and things like that put onto pleasure reading and leisure reading. I think that that is an interesting idea of something that I can explore. Question number three is, what are you most excited about for your channel? I think overall I'm most excited about interacting with people that I probably wouldn't have met before. I've made so many great friends online through different communities, and like I think that people who are on booktube all seem to be such nice and genuine people. And so I'm excited to be able to meet more people from around the world that I wouldn't have been able to before. Question number four is, why do you love reading? Why I love reading is because it's just magical. Like it just is able to transport you to somewhere completely different or somewhere that's a little bit too close to home maybe. I have always thought since I started reading that reading was such a wonderful escape. I always thought of books kind of as being friends. It was always an experience whenever I got to read, and it's just a lot of fun. Question number five is, what book series got you into reading? The first book series that I can really remember just reading all the time was the Goosebumps books by R.L. Stine. I flew through those. I thought they were so much fun. I was such a scaredy cat when I was younger too, but regardless, I still just had so much fun reading those creepy stories. I also really enjoyed the Choose Your Own Adventure books, which are the ones where like you read part of it and then you get to make a decision. It's like, you know, if you want to do this thing, go to page 62, and if you want to do this thing, go to page 24. I thought those books were awesome. I remember getting them from the library all the time. But when I got older, the first like book series that I became part of like a fandom for was definitely the Percy Jackson series. I flew through those books. I couldn't get enough of them. And they hold a very special place in my heart. Question number six is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think that I would ask like, how do you get so many bookshelves in your room? Or is that like a separate room that you just use for filming? Because like I have a pretty small room, I guess, but like I could not get that many bookshelves in my room. It's impressive and kind of scary. The other thing that I would ask is like, what What are some early on mistakes that you made that you regret or that you would want to change if you were to start brand new and start a fresh booktube channel? What are some struggles that you've had that you would like to remedy? Question number 7 is, what challenges do you think will be the hardest to face while doing booktube? I honestly think though that the hardest challenges with booktube are going to be myself. Like, I think that I am always my own worst critic and I am always very judgmental of myself. I'm always worried that someone's gonna like tease me about what I'm doing, or that I'm not doing it good enough, or that everyone thinks I'm annoying. And so I think just having to get over my own inner critic so I can do something that I think is fun is gonna be the hardest challenge for me to get over. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? I actually started reading really late into my life. I literally could not read until I was 9 years old. I have dyslexia and ADHD, and so when I was little, reading was horrible to me. I would try to read like phonics or picture books, and it would give me migraines. It literally would hurt so badly to read that I didn't really read until I was 9. But when I started reading, I could read full, like, such big books. Like, I could read books that were way above my grade level. I think that's ridiculous of like putting a level on what kids can read, but that's beside the point. But I was able to read like a lot more advanced texts, even though I really couldn't read until I was 9. Question number 9 is, where do you read? I read mainly in 3 main spots now, like during the pandemic. Before, I would love to read the library, or I would read on the bus a lot, or I would go to the park. Now I read mainly on my bed, I read at my desk, or I read on the couch. That's really pretty much the only places that I read, and if I'm listening to an audiobook, I'll kind of listen to it wherever. And finally, question number 10 is, what do you like to read? I like to read everything. I really love reading poetry. I'm hoping to make videos about poetry on this channel. I also am a big sucker for YA. I think it's a really fun genre. I've been exploring a little bit more like adult contemporary right now. I really love horror. I've always really loved horror. I think it is such a fun and unique genre. I really like fantasy. I really like sci-fi. I really will read everything. The one thing I'm bad at reading though is I don't really like historical fiction very much. I don't like old historical fiction. Like, I don't like, if it's set before like the 1950s, I'm like, I just haven't found anything I really resonated with. I'm not saying I would never read it, but there is nothing that drives me to read like a book set in the 1800s. I have no pull to that. I'm also not great about reading nonfiction. I want to get better at it. I'm gonna try listening to nonfiction audiobooks because I feel like that might be a little bit more engaging for me. But other than that, I do read pretty much everything. So overall, that is my Booktube Newbie Tag, my answers to the questions. I really enjoyed them. I thought it was fun to answer these questions. I really appreciate all of you watching. I'm excited to continue making videos. I have a few planned out that makes me really excited. Also, like this month, because it's the first month I've really started doing booktube videos, it makes me want to read so much more, and like that makes me really excited that I have such a drive and such an urge to be reading more books, and that's like part of also why I started this channel. So I am really excited to continue on doing that. But until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!